All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy, the DoorDash Revolution with Rack 'em Up, Stack 'em Up, Rack 'em Up, Stack 'em Up. Once again, I hope that your delivery drivers are making plenty of money today on a Friday that we got going on. So this is what we're going to do right now as we get ready to get going. A lot of you may not get a chance to see this video, but you can catch the replay. Let me go ahead and do this. I want to go into my initial setup for the station. I usually do it while I'm live. I'm doing it off of mobile. I'm not doing it off no desktop. I'm not doing it off a laptop. So that's what we get ready to do right now. I thank all the viewers for participating in the Grubhub trivia questions and Grubhub trivia challenge. And I picked out of all those comments uh, what this video going to be about today. Let's go ahead and do this right here. Get everything up and go and get everything set up. All right, we initially are live right now. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Let's see. Take a little time. There we are. We showing right there. I'm gonna change that channel banner pretty soon. All right, we're gonna go here. We're immediately gonna go to the control room. Let's do this here. There we go. We got the live chat on, live chat on. We gonna have live chat replay. We're gonna put it in subscriber mode. Do that. All right, we're gonna do this. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Live reaction. There we go. And here we go. Charles D, what's happening in the house, brother? Glad to see you today and everything. And we're going to go ahead and go to the channel. I got to turn the volume down so I can see all the comments. I know 2 is watching right now. Okay, we got Charles D in the house. Blessings, Rev, long time. I finally back on Grubhub. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Grubhub. After 2 years, congratulations for you being back on Grubhub. I'm going through a lot of these Grubhub challenges, ladies and gentlemen, Grubhub trivia challenges that I don't recommend other drivers to go through because I'm doing the case study and research. But the information that I'm going to provide to you today is going to help empower your mind. It's going to help empower you with a resource too. On the things that we said 3 years ago on DoorDash, you can also do on this application. This is one thing that all the apps have in common. Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats. They have an algorithm, just like YouTube. Who is YouTube algorithm, ladies and gentlemen? The audience. So who is Grubhub's algorithm? The customer. Who is Uber Eats algorithm? The customer. Okay, even though they got AI doing it, it's following the behaviors and patterns and cycles of when the customers do the ordering. These app-based AI technologies companies don't control how customers place their orders. Ladies and gentlemen, the customer determines that. All right, we got some powerful information in this episode today. So let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go straight into my, let me make sure that I'm sounding pretty good out there. How I sound, Charles D? So let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go straight into my, all right, I can hear myself, so I know that we're good right now. So let's go ahead and push through this. I'm doing a live stream. I'm on the time limit. I want to put out as much powerful information on this live stream that drivers that's on Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, if you're multi-apping or single apping on Grubhub, which I don't advise anybody to do, but if that's the only app you got, then you got to do your things different than multi-appers. Navigating Grubhub long distance orders explained. All right, let's do this here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do this right here. I want to go to the community post. Let me do that real quick. Go to the channel. I'm definitely on live right now. Let's bounce out of that. Do this. Make sure we own right. There we go. All right, we want to go straight to the post. All right, we got one post in here, ladies and gentlemen. I talk about, would you deliver this order? We're talking about that one right there. All right. We're going to do another episode about this. We may talk about it a little bit in this one, and that's where the order was from. All right. The topic for discussion is long distance orders on Grubhub. I understand long distance orders are also on Uber Eats, DoorDash, Walmart, Spark, any app that you're using to do deliveries on, even in rideshare, long distance pickups. Okay, let's check this out for a minute. All right. I want to talk about that. We're going to go back to that a little later. This is the topic of the conversation of today. I'm going to show you this. Grubhub delivery roundup. Rack them up, stack them up, collecting my tips. We're going to show the first one. I wish I could blow it up. Yeah, I could if I may blow it up. All right, that's the first photo. That's the second photo. We're going to talk about those right there. All right, first thing is first. We're going to look at your delivery roundup. Check out your delivery stats over the past 2 weeks. They will email Grubhub drivers about this here. There's something they putting in the arsenal of how we need to know certain things. Offer commitment rate, 84.39%. On-time merchant rate, 76.92%. We're going to talk about that in a few seconds. All right, scheduled commitment rating, 100%. Way to go, Robert. You earned $895.30 in tips over the past 30 days. All right, the one before that. Way to go. You earned $589.07 in tips over the past 30 days. This 60 days, ladies and gentlemen, I made over $1,300 in tips. All right, we're going to tell you how I do it. What's up, famous Amos? Glad to have you in the house today. See, this is what we got to understand. You know, you can get caught in the trap of the mindset of what things been said in content in the past, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, right? And they planted a seed, you know, decline everything. It worked then. How is it working for drivers now? And if drivers are still able to do it, that means they're doing something else besides declining everything. They have something helping them out. But this is not the video for me to talk about that. So we're going to talk about the tips again. Navigating Grubhub long distance orders. We're going to talk about that. We want to talk about the tips. Before I talk about those tips, I want to talk about on-time merchant rate. Let's see, can I pull up one of my videos? I should have a screenshot on the same thing. If not, then I'm going to have to deal with it like that. Let me go ahead and pull this information up quick as I can, fast as I can. All right, here we go. Let's see, can I pull it up? Just like I thought, I already got rid of getting rid of storage and all this. So let's see, can I retake that snapshot of this right here? I'm going to do it live and living in color. This is what we're going to talk about. And I'm getting ready to take a snapshot right now, what you call screenshot. There it go right there. Here it go right here. We getting ready to see it in a few seconds. We're doing all of this manually, ladies and gentlemen, for you live and in living and in color. While we right across from Clark Tower over there. If you don't believe me, I could flip the screen, but I don't want to do that right now. All right, let's do this here. We're going to go ahead, boom, boom. Here we go. All right, let me blow it up. Let me blow it up so you can see it. We want to talk about that right there. On-time merchant rate, 76.2%. You saw that. We're going to go into the comment section real quick, and we're going to give a salute to all of these commenters that talked about it here. Let's go ahead and do this just like this. Let me move around. I'm moving rapidly, moving fast. All right, we want to go back to the channel. All right, let me do this, do that. Notification, bump that. All right, let's do this. Back to the channel. All right, we're going to go to the comment section in the community post. Let me bounce off that because I'm on my other channel. Coming off of that real quick. Please give us likes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying what I'm giving to you right now, the information that's going to be valuable for you some way, one way or another. All right, let's do this right quick. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, that's it. Community posts. All right, right here. Okay, let's look at the comment section. All right, we got Cass. Real Talk said, congratulations, my dear brother. Awesome job. Keep it going. I pray for your safety and protection in Jesus Christ, mighty and righteous name. Amen and amen. And how did I respond to my brother? Amen. You know, I appreciate him coming in on the channel, you know, giving his blessings and respect and prayers that we definitely do need. And we're going to do the same thing on his channel. Hulk Smash came on in there and said, that's what's up, my brother. Triple fist. This is going to be the Grand Slam of the week. I don't know how Audubon know how to do it, but he know how to do it. Audubon said, good haul, but I never understand that much lateness, but I'm blessed with fast, if busy roads. I think this is how I commented to him. Thank you for your keen eyes. Truly, there's a storyline in this lesson. This will be discussed in my next video. Today is that next video. All right, so Major came in and said, okay, I had a lateness problem on Grubhub, but I was always on time. I think it had to do with not hitting the ride. Appreciate both of these men. Major deliveries run up number 2. Now, I did this on purpose to get this response. He was somebody have keen enough eyes to catch that right there. All right, many people done seen my videos. I said I'd be there 3 to 5 minutes early. I do when I'm getting single orders. I do when I get long distance orders. But there's different long distance orders that will cause you to go to the restaurant late. What are they? Stack orders, ladies and gentlemen. Stack orders. Orders that other drivers don't want. Been holding it too long. Grubhub not adjusting the time. Soon as you get the order, you're 7 miles away. You got to get there in 10 minutes. You wind up getting there 3 minutes later or 1 minute later. You can even get there exactly on time. It's still going to count it against you, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be there before the arrival time that they show you in the app. I got a little lagging going on. I can tell because I see it on I'm getting all these notifications. All right. Okay, I appreciate that. Hulk Smash just sent a few things. And everybody going to dig deep on the on-time arrival rate. Please look at your Grubhub app, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the new updates, information that they got on all of these changes that's going on, including on-time rate. Because pretty soon, I got a funny feeling, drivers going to be borderline, and you know what I mean. So, how a driver like myself know how to shave miles off of long distance orders by not going on the E-way, taking scenic routes, stop signs versus stoplights, so I can get there early. This is what happened. You get caught in a crossfire of all of these unwanted offers. Okay. I will be putting it in the description. I will be putting it on the end screen when I'm getting ready to show you right now. All right, let's see. We're going to pull that video up. Let's see, was it a... I don't want to play it. Let me go to my studio. You don't want to play it, but I want to show it to you. I'm going to put it on the end screen. This is what we're talking about right here. All right. This is one of them. Why are there more Grubhub long distance orders? I talked about that. I will be putting it in the description or at the end screen. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, let me see, can I pull it up? All right, let's do this here. There's a reason why I'm showing it to you right now, and I'm going to put it in the end screen. When the show gets at the end, you can be able to look at, okay, what this, okay, he talked about it here, he talked about it there. Let me check these videos out with this one we just got through seeing. All right, this is what we're going to do here. We're going to go to video type, check my live stream out in the studio right quick. See, can I pull that video up? And then it might have not been on a live stream. It might have been on a regular video. Let's try that. I don't see it on live stream. We're going to go to regular video. Here we go. That video right there. I'm going to put it at the end screen. It says drivers losing money. Are Grubhub drivers forced to accept unwanted offers? That was part one. Okay, the other one, why are Grubhub drivers accepting unwanted offers, right? That's part two. We talking about part three right now. Navigating Grubhub long distance offers explained. Let me see, can I check something out right quick? I want to go here, here, here. I want to go back to YouTube. Hold on, YouTube. Right quick. All right, I want to go here, right there. We're going to go to that regular video. All right, I want to go here and hit pause real quick. All right, we're going to go to the timestamp. All right. All right, we're going to play a little bit of this here and let you listen to it. But you're going to need to look at everything on this timestamp. This is the topics. This is your table of content that's going to explain to you what I'm talking about right now. So let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go to 20 seconds of this video. Not going to be long. I'm going to turn the volume up. And I'm asking a question, not only for Grubhub drivers, for every delivery driver that does this type of service. All right, we're going to do it right now. Hope that you're making money today. We are here on July. It's a Monday, first day of the work week, and we want to discuss some things. Are Grubhub drivers forced to accept unwanted offers? Some may agree with what I got to say in this topic. Others may disagree, but let's learn how to agree to disagree without any conflicts and insults and all of that. Driver will have different experience, different perspectives, different understanding of what's going on in the Grubhub application. I want to get started right now. First and foremost, the breakfast shift. Okay, now you're going to have to check that out, this series on the breakfast shift. I just got through looking at it. I want to look at timestamp 330, where it talks about, are we losing the freedom to select desirable offers? All right, let's go ahead and listen to this right quick. This is going to put something on your mind. Their own bosses, right? And we have a debate about independent worker versus independent contractor. That's going to be another episode. Not going to do it in today's episode. So, being your own boss, working as an independent contractor, you're supposed to be free to choose when and how much you want to work. Okay? Yes, there's some lingering questions out there about whether we really have a choice when it comes to accepting offers. Okay, let's break this down right here. What I've been noticing in my marketplace, ladies and gentlemen, there's more reverse orders. There's more upside down orders. There's more what other drivers set under the water orders. What do you mean by that? There's more miles than the dollar amount. True. Okay. So when there's nothing else out there left but these unwanted orders, how do you navigate these unwanted orders? You got to pick the best from the bottom of the barrel. You got to evaluate these unwanted offers and learn how to navigate these unwanted offers so you don't feel like you're being forced to take anything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now you see why I played that timestamp. What we're talking about in our topic today, navigating Grubhub long distance orders. Explain. All right. Once again, Grubhub drivers, multi-appers. Listen to this right here and pay attention to it. All right. The Grubhub algorithm is your customers ordering food. All right. Then Grubhub use a machine learning system almost similar to DoorDash. We're going to talk about those episodes I did in the past as well in another video. So what happens is they already got these lined up. All they got to do is give the driver the assignment. When you take that first one, you're in that algorithm. Have you ever noticed when you get a Taco Bell or do you wind up getting Panda Express, Burger King, KFC, Tops Barbecue here in Memphis, hello, Popeyes? Talk to me, somebody. It's a reason for that. The reason is all of these fast food chain restaurants have something in common. Cheaper meal deals for your clients. So they're getting a cheaper meal deal, right? Then they're getting the fees and the discounts off of Grubhub apps. And the orders that customers ordering are further away from the restaurant. Listen and listen good. When the orders are further away from the restaurant, these the only orders coming out. The other orders few and far in between, high-paying orders and catering orders on Grubhub. So when drivers are experiencing in their historical data, which is a very important research tool, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be looking at. There are content creators out there regurgitating the information I put out there 3 and 4 years ago. Thank you for opening the doors for me to do DoorDash content again, because we not going to just straighten up the record. We're going to straighten it up right. We're going to tell you where the information came from on the DoorDash deep red dispatch system. Who was the first person talked about it, the second person talked about it, the third and the fourth person talked about it. I'm going to give you just a hint right now. All I got to do, ladies and gentlemen, and they can't erase me out of the book of history. They cannot erase me out of the history books. I said it in my other videos as well. This is what we're going to do right now. We're going to talk to Google. All right, this is what we're going to do. The DoorDash dispatch system. All right. It talks about using ML and optimization to solve DoorDash dispatch problems. Okay. Let's find out who videos is in here. You see. Let's find out whose videos are off in here. All right. You should see Bentley Coupe. You should see, well, we're going to show it. You see Bentley Coupe. This was the first person talking about it. Chem Tech randomness. The first person talking about it. Who else do you see? It says the DoorDash revolution. Okay. And it's got another one that Bentley just recently done. But at first, Kim talked about it. Your boy talked about it. Bentley talked about it. Hot Facts with Robert Reese talked about it. All the rest of them put it up on the DoorDash algorithm. UDM talked about it. Pedro talked about it. Sarah Elizabeth talked about it. The list goes on and on and on. All right. But Kim was the first person talked about it. You don't believe me? Google it. Check the information out for yourself. It's right there. Better yet, I'm going to do you one better. Your boy in the history books. And we're gonna do this right here. It's not bragging. We got to set the record. We got to straighten everything up. Some people say they're calling themselves setting the record straight, but I got to straighten the record up. All right, this is what we got to do. Let's go to this right here, right here, right here, right here. But we all was on to something though. Every last one of us had a piece of the puzzle. Every one of us had a piece of the puzzle. And all them pieces got to be put together. So thank you, content creators, for we all coming together in our very own way, our very own perspective, our very own experience. I give a shout out to all these content creators I just named and others I forgot the name. All right, here we go right here. We want to pull up my channel again. I may put this also in the end screen. Because you got to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody that I'm directing you to look at the information on, and I'll do a playlist down the road so that way you get it all right there. And listen to each and every one of the content creators talking about this thing. You're going to see there's similarities in what we're talking about. Some of us may seem like we repeating what the next person's saying, but we're going through the same experience. More and more driver eyes are being opened up, content creators, and giving you this value. All right, let's go ahead and do this right here, and right here. All right. So let me do this. Let me do this again. Let me do this. Let's go to my playlist. All right. There my playlist is right there. I will be putting that playlist also in the end screen. And check out that playlist, ladies and gentlemen. Very powerful. We talked about the DoorDash deep patch, the DoorDash deep red dispatch system, the truth about preferential status, customer ratings do matter, DoorDash drivers, how to understand the DoorDash algorithm. All right. DoorDash drivers, the honeymoon period, all of it dealt with the DoorDash deep red dispatch system or the DoorDash algorithm. Once again, the YouTube algorithm is the audience. The DoorDash algorithm is the customer. The Grubhub algorithm is the customer. Doobie's algorithm is the customer. But they do have AI in there giving these orders to select the drivers. They coming with a tier system and everything. Everything is getting more advanced, more advanced, more advanced. So you're going to hear more about the algorithm from many more of us drivers as we experience this. And right now, we need to talk about it on long distance orders. All right. So when you experiencing what I'm experiencing, the other day I did 17 orders. 14 orders were long distance orders. Okay. And I'm going to find that video, put it in the end screen where I navigated them long distance orders, made $154, 7 hours active time, 8 hours total time. Okay. And broke down the analysis of was it an advantage to make that kind of money or was it a disadvantage and I could have made more? So this is part 3 that I promise you. I thank everyone that was in the comment section today that I called the names out. I will be giving them another salute. Rev always spit. Yeah, we got to, brother. We got to. Let me look at this. Let's look at the live chat right quick before I push on. All you got to do is Google the information, ladies. I'm in the history books. Can't nobody erase me from the history books. I'm gonna tell you why, especially on the topic I'm talking about. Google is the #1 search engine. YouTube is the second. Ranking in the search engine on keywords and stuff. So you got #1, you got #2. I'm in both of those history books, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot be erased. I'm already documented. You don't believe me? Check the information I just gave you. Then check the information on the others, because this is everybody had a thing involved in revealing what's really going on. Now, this algorithm we talking about now is dealing with long distance orders that you having problems with on DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. Think about it. You're not the only driver out there by yourself, right? Everybody's not trying to get them orders. Everybody, I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this. That's too many miles. Isn't that right? Okay. So when all the best fruit out of the tree is stripped, nothing left but the low-hanging fruit, what do you do, ladies and gentlemen? When there's nothing but the low-hanging fruit left, I so often told people, you got to get the best out of the bottom of the barrel and make it work for you. No, I'm not telling you to take upside down orders. No, I'm not telling you to take long distance orders. Going to cost you money. You got to master the skill set and be able in your market to know how to make the right decision, know when to take these orders, when not to take these orders, and the time that you can take these orders and make some good money. I done been burned on them. But if I'm averaging 72% of my orders are nothing but that, I got to make it work for me. I can't afford to go to Atlanta. I can't afford to go to Dallas. I can't afford to go to LA. I can't afford to go to Phoenix. Got bills to pay. All right. So what I got to do is make it work for me. I can multi-app and stack my apps, maximize each app. Then I can go to another app, maximize on that one, maximize on that one, maximize on that one. But suppose you just got one app. One app. You don't have multiple accounts with this one app. You just got one app. And that's another story. You got to deal with those that got more than one DoorDash account. Super saturate your market. So yes, they're going to recycle these orders back in there, ladies and gentlemen, the long distance orders. Getting caught in the crossfire, you're trying to meet these tier levels and everything, and you're going to be forced into taking some of these orders. If you're going to get platinum, if you're going to, become premier, especially on Grubhub, you're going to have to wind up choking up some of these orders. But I didn't tell you to take them everything, and I didn't tell you to take reverse orders. There are certain situations, I've already proved it already, that I took a reverse order, went into this market here, and it was booming. It can be booming on another app. Where a lot of drivers talk about this here, the miles, the miles, the miles. Okay, you sit, right? You happen to get an order that does take you out of your favorite fishing hole. Let's use 10 miles, hypothetically speaking. You got to drive 10 miles back. Okay, how many cycles be them flipped over? You went because it was a real good paying off. How many cycles then went past you while you gone? Now you got to come back. A lot of drivers are doing that. Okay, if you're doing that, You spending more miles than the driver that just, I'm taking this one, it's taking me there. While I'm there, I'm working that market there. Okay, it took me 10 miles over here, but I'm working that market there. So you thinking in your mind that you winning the game on mileage when you actually lose because you got too many dead miles. Think about that there. I'm going to tell you this right here. You can believe or don't believe it. There are going to always be long distance orders. There's going to always be reverse orders. There's going to be always low ball orders. They're not going anywhere. Now, what we going to do about it? You got to make your own decision. You got to master your skill set in your market. Let me go ahead and go to the live stream right quick. I want to see. You got to make your decision. You got to master your skills. All right. Salute to Charles. I'm glad that you're here today. Charles D, famous Amos. I'm glad to hear you here. I'm glad to have you here today. What's going on, my brother? Spit that knowledge out. We got to let people know. We got to empower that mind. You know, that decline now and the decline everything. The only way you're going to be able to do it now, ladies and gentlemen, just going to be honest with you. You're going to have a bot to do it and win every time. So if you don't have a bot to do it, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to win every time. So people need to stop lying. We being exposed. If we telling lies, we being exposed now. And if you use that bot too many times, you're going to be deactivated off those folks' platform. I guarantee that. Now, let's go ahead and say this here. Charles D said, what's up, famous? Good afternoon to everyone that's famous. Amen. Rev always spitting the facts. I'm just trying to keep the truth out there. I'm out here in these streets. I struggle in these streets. Okay. I get some of the best orders, and I get some of the worst orders. If you having that many orders, ladies and gentlemen, coming at you at once, and I haven't changed several markets to do it. I done used all kind of strategies, techniques that I use for DoorDash. I use for Grubhub. Grubhub right now seems like DoorDash little brother. Somebody just got what I was talking about. Back to the question or the statement that was said. All right. I can't see how you late. This is how you late. When people not accepting these unwanted offers, you have to accept one. It takes you, matter of fact, we're going to start playing games. We're going to show some proof. We're going to show some proof. I got screenshots, good Lord. We're going to show some proof. We're going to show some proof. Because I get good orders too. But I want to show the long distance ones if I can find them. Here go one right here. I know that's one. All right. For instance, let me blow that bad boy up so you can really see it real good. You see that, don't you? All right. For instance, this order supposed to have been there at a certain time at the estimated time of arrival. They're not adjusting these times, ladies and gentlemen. Driver will hold some of these orders trying to stack them, not taking the loss. I understand that. I understand it real well. Okay. The thing is, when you get one of these, you're going to get another one. And you're going to get another one. And you're going to get another one. I don't know about nobody else's experience, but I know how to get stack orders, and they come to me. I can get double, triple, and quadruple. Now imagine you getting double, triple, quadruple of these orders here, but you're making money, right? Okay. The thing is, all it takes is one restaurant wait time to be too long. Guess what? You're going to be late on the other three orders. That's how come my percentage rate on the on time arrival at the merchant dropped from 94 down to 76. Real quick, real quick. It happens when you're trying to get from partner to pro. It happens when you're trying to get from pro to premier. Those drivers that done experience that, they would be saying amen right now to what I'm talking about. So Audubon would just answer your question right there. Because I usually be there 3 to 5 minutes. Majority of the time. Majority of the time, I'm there. But when you're getting caught with these kind of orders, and you in that algorithm and the money looking good, that ain't looking good at all. I've had orders like matter of fact, let me pull up today's results to prove to you how you can navigate Grubhub long distance orders, and I'm explaining to you how you can do it. All right, let's see. It may not be as long as some people. Some people like, that's long enough for me. That is long distance order. Let me go to the Grubhub app. Going to the Grubhub app. Give it a little time. All right. I came out and worked today. Let's see, can we pull that up? All right. I made $45.33, 35 cents. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the breakdown of this analysis here. Delivery paid $21. Tips, $24.35. I always know how to get my tips. All right, 100% acceptance rate. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a video saying I'm going to accept every long distance order on Grubhub. I'm going to do it in 24 hours, which means I'm going to do it. It's going to take 3 days to do. What's up, Major? Glad to have you in the house here. All right. Notice I'm not advocating people to take reverse orders, upside down orders. I'm not even advocating you take long distance orders. What I'm advocating is, if you happen to have to take it, do you know how to navigate, start navigating these long distance orders and make it profitable for you? That's where I'm at with it. All right, let's go ahead. Let's pull this up. All right. 12:14 was actually, I started at 12. Yep, 12:10. We can't stretch the screen unless I take a screenshot. I'll tell you what we're going to do. First, we're going to show it to you. Then I'm going to take a screenshot. That's it right there. That's today's, right? All right, when I take a screenshot, I'll be able to blow it up. We're going to talk about what's on this list here. Taco Bell, Grisani's, Italian restaurant, New China, Tops Barbecue #6, Pure Green, $5.83, $7.26, $6.66, $7.88, $17.27. I worked on the platform right at 2 hours. It made $45.35. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Taco Bell. 4.6 miles. You may be able to see, you may not be able to see it. $5.83. All right, we'll get ready to bounce off of it. Customer tip $2 and some change. Let's go to the next one. $4, $7.26, 4.1. All right, Edward Sonnets. Let me go ahead and redo it again. You're gonna say, Rev, those not long distance orders. It is if you in an area where if you go a mile and a half too far, it takes you out of the algorithm of the best orders. Okay. Now, China, 6 miles, 6.2 for $6.66. I consider that long distance order in my market because it's taking you away from the 3 mile radius. It takes you even further than the 5 mile radius. Sometimes it's too far for drivers to make a profit, especially if you don't know what you're doing. All right, let's go ahead and look at Pure Green. 18.5 miles, $17.72. All Grubhub drivers know this one thing. At the beginning of your block, they're going to give you a reverse order or a long distance order. At the 30-minute mark before the end of your shift, you're going to get the same thing. Drivers also getting rid of these unwanted offers. You're going to get them throughout your shift if you don't know what you are doing. Trying to dodge the bullet, sometimes you're going to catch the bullet. We talking figuratively, not literally. You're going to get hit with these kind of offers. So they're not going anywhere. Believe that. So what do? You got to figure out ways to where you can get the best out the bottom of the barrel due to the algorithm that you in and how you got caught in it. You can be getting good orders, and all of a sudden that restaurant took 30 minutes for you to get out of there. Guess what? That algorithm didn't change for you, because once you hit on the app, it notified Grubhub that you got to wait and how long you got to wait, and you let the customer know you just took yourself out of that algorithm. A good algorithm you in. So now that algorithm got to be signed to somebody else, and you're going to be re-signed a different algorithm. Don't believe me? Start doing your research and case study and start checking that out. You're going to be like, wow. Well, he just said blue mines like landmines. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the arithmetic on this. I want to go ahead and take a screenshot right quick. I was out to 2 hours, and maybe a little bit over 2 hours. We're gonna show you. All right, let's pull it up. Bam, let's do it like that, so you can see the numbers better. You know, I'm doing everything manually, ladies and gentlemen. We're not using editing tools or none of that. I believe in showing it to you real time. That's just me. Those that's gifted to do that, congratulations to them. All right, let's do this here. You see I'm pumped up. You see I'm fired up, right? It ain't the one I want to show. Oh, it didn't go through. I'm going to have to do it again. What is it doing? Those other episodes, I ain't. Wait a minute. All right, let's do this here. Here we go. Bam. Now I can pull it up. Oh, good gracious alive. Come on now. All right, here we go. Boom. Now that's it. Now I'm going to stretch it out for you. All right. You see those restaurant name Memphians? Other people as well. All right, I can slide it to the side. You can see that information, right? You can add all of that up. I did all of that in 2 hours. Okay. All right. I had low ball offers kicked off in this long distance order. I started off with Taco Bell. Now this is what I'm getting ready to say. What restaurants? Let me get it right. You're gonna see more of low paying offers and long distance offers in reverse order. Taco Bell is one of them on the list. Memphis, Taco Bell, KFC, Popeyes, Church's Chicken, Wingstop, Burger King, Happy Mexican. It's some more I done left out. Those in Memphis that's in here, that's why I quit multi-app and I was continually getting kicked out. You know, hold on. I gotta read that. He's saying something right there. Hold on. I can stop what I'm talking about right now. Hold on. Let's do this here. He said something powerful right there. We're gonna stop what we're doing in our tracks. And I gotta address what he just said. I'm gonna see if I missed anybody else comments out as well. Okay. Just listening to you cook. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. All right. Hi, guys. That's why I quit multi-app and I was continually getting kicked out of the algorithm. My experience. He just dropped some jewels right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you those jewels are facts. It takes a strong individual to admit what he just admitted. I got to join him in admitting the same thing. It take a lot to be humble enough to admit the tricks and the traps of multi-app. Yeah, you can make money on it. But a lot of us, when we first started doing multi-app, and we didn't know anything about it, wasn't that many videos out there about it, but a few content creators. and we was told to turn them all on. That was a good thing to do probably during the pandemic. All right, the only thing in danger of it was, and I put out the video, the danger of multi-apping, myself and Cornbread, that all you got to do is have one glitch, one restaurant taking too long. You got all these orders, and a train stop you. You go over here, you got to go on a detour cause automobile accident. You trapped with all these orders. Suppose all of them glitch at the same time. You got to call customer support, driver care support specialists on all your apps. They taking their time answering the phone. Your heartbeat racing now, right? Almost about to have a heart attack, almost about to run into somebody and have a wreck. How many drivers had a wreck multi-app? I'm gonna leave that as that, because that's not the topic for today, but he brought out some major things. He said, that's why I quit multi-apping. I was continuing to get kicked out the algorithm. My experience is my experience as well. I had to change how to do that. Now, if you stack your apps, app stacking. This is why app stacking, when you're multi-apping, going to get you maximum return, because see, you can use one of those apps and you looking at the other app, you going in that direction where you're looking at the other app, it's fire hot over there. Turn that app off right then and there. Go over there. You done made all the money you can on this app. You can go over here and take that long distance order in the area where DoorDash is popping red hot. Okay, you done made $50, $80, $100 on this app. It done dried up in that market over there. You took that last order because you know it's taking you to another market on another app that you can maximize your earnings on. $100 on DoorDash, $100 on Grubhub, $100 on Uber Eats. I'm just hypothetically speaking. That way it's much more safer, less glitching. Suppose you get hit juggling these apps, all of them giving you long distance orders and reverse orders and all of that on all three apps, or on how many apps you own. You said, well, I'm gonna leave these alone, I'm gonna jump on road. Road got to play out. Then when it play out, what you getting ready to do? Catering is a good deal. Okay. That's bad when you got a muscle car. You don't take care of it. That's how it sounds. It's on his last leg. He been raw dogging it, not treating it right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost getting to the end of the episode, but it's getting good. Real good. You got to know how to navigate your long distance orders, not just on Grubhub. But I'm doing it as Grubhub content, but you can use it for DoorDash, you can use it for Uber Eats, you can use it for some other apps. You got to know your city well enough, okay, to know how to navigate some of these long distance orders. I explained to you a little bit what was going on. All right, let me get back to that. You can get kicked out the algorithm, is over with. And when you get a good algorithm, it may last up to 2 hours. It usually lasts 30 minutes at the most, but it can last up to 2 hours. You know, depending on what market you're in, depending on the customer, which is the algorithm, because the algorithm follows the customer, ladies and gentlemen. Now, then they want to assign drivers to you. Now, if all the drivers are way over here trying to get money over here, it's money over there. So I know when all the drivers over here, I'm gonna get that money over there. This is how I got my money. Let me show you. This is how I got my money. I'm gonna go back to it. We're gonna get the calculator. And I'm gonna say it's a little bit over 2 hours. I'm gonna say it's a little bit over 2 hours. You know, because I know I got the first order 12:15. Probably got the next, but the other one fell in that hour. All right, let's see and let's make sure. Let's see, did that actually happen or was I hallucinating? All right, here we go. Now I got to bump out. I done held that so long. They saying we can't show that information now. You want to refresh the screen and all of that. All right, this is what we're getting ready to do. This is what we're getting ready to do. Refresh. Now, there we go. All right, boom, there we go. All right, today. All right, I only work, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to my schedule so you know how long I work. All right, that's my schedule, ladies and gentlemen. I was on block, if you can see it, but there's a story I'm going to have to straighten up right there. I came on at 12 p.m. Got my first order at 12:14 p.m. Came off block at 2:30. But guess what? I got back on and grabbed another block. Finished around about 2:30. So you're looking at just a little bit over 2 hours. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to our earnings. All right, tab. We already talked about that. Those that just now coming in, you want to rewatch the replay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go off in here. So we're gonna add this stuff up. We started with the first order Taco Bell 12:14, and we ended at 1:26. Right? That's active time. Okay, because I actually ended almost like 2:14 or something like that, or a little less. So it's really a little less than 2 hours, but we're gonna say 2 hours. We talking about total time. So let's go ahead and do this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Everything was already ready. So that's the beauty of it too. It's already ready. Okay, when they stacked them, it cost me to be late on a few of them orders because somebody dropped it off at the last minute, last moment. Okay, I get it. I'm looking at it. I got 2 minutes. The 2 minutes within the time I need to get there. They get there on the arrive by time. I get there maybe 2 minutes late or on time. They count that not being on time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, because you can be a few seconds over that time that causes you not to be on time. Think about that. Because we're punching in and punching out when we getting these orders, almost like a time clock. We punch in when we accept that order, then we punch out, just like you punch in when you get to that restaurant, then you got to punch out when you leave that restaurant. When you punch out to leave that restaurant, you're punching in to get ready to go drop it off. When you drop it off, you got to punch out once you complete the order. Isn't that right? Yes, that's right. Okay, so let's do this here. First order was $5.83. Right? And y'all can add from there. Because all it's going to do is it's going to equal this here. Notice I ain't go through all of it. Because all these numbers that I just showed you is going to equal this right here. $45.35 divided by 2 hours. You tell me. I had a long distance order in there, which was an unwanted offer. I had some low ball offers in there that was unwanted offers. I navigated my long distance orders and I navigated my low ball offers, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to go ahead and do the mathematics here. $45. Let's go back and make sure we got it right. And 35 cents, right? Divided by 2, $22.67. All right, we're going to give and take here and say 2.2, which is going to put me under the mark that I wanted to be at. Not really. $20.61. I did pretty good, ladies and gentlemen, with low ball offers and long distance order. One of them was a reverse order. I do it on a semi-frequently basis. I have no choice because I get 70% of them come my way. I don't care how I try to dodge it, but I don't care how many I decline. It look like go ahead and decline 10 in a row. You're gonna get 10 more. Decline those 10, you're gonna get 10 more. Go ahead and decline until you done fell out of the program. So I'm like, wow. Let me go over here in this different market here. Same thing. Let me go over here. Same thing. Let me go over there. Same thing. School hadn't started back yet. There is a season of downtime in any business that you do. Peak season, then you got slow season. Same way with what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We have to understand and know this. Once you understand and know this, and you've been in the game long enough through trials and errors and the mistakes you made, and the most powerful thing, ladies and gentlemen, is your historical data. I got to keep repeating that. I'm going to go to one more video because I want to talk about historical data. Some of you didn't see it. Let's see, can we go to it right quick? Historical data is your resource tool, ladies and gentlemen. It will tell you where you're making your mistakes at. It will tell you why you're making the wrong decisions. It will show you how to maximize your earnings. If the algorithm know your historical data, why in the world you don't know your historical data is the question that you need to be asking yourself. So how you think you're going to win at this virtual live reality video game? Seem like we playing, but it's reality though. It feel like that I'm in like virtual live video game, but it's all real. All right, let's go ahead and try to find this video right quick. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more to you, those that's commenting on the channel. We're going to do that. We're going to go to this video that I talked about earlier. Turn it down. Are Grubhub drivers forced to accept unwanted offers? Each and every one that look at that video will have their own answer to that question. If I can explain my experience, yes, it seems like I'm being forced to accept. But I got to strategically know how not to accept all of them. Key word, you got to strategically think how to not accept all of them. That's right, Major. That's right, a real video game. Except for look like we trapped inside the box, though. All right, let's do this here. We're going to go to the timestamp real quick because I did talk about historical data. Are you analyzing historical patterns? We're going to go to the timestamp 7. The video wasn't that long, no way, about 11 minutes, you know. But we're going to go to timestamp 7, or we're going to go to that chapter. I'm going to turn it up. You know I'm in these streets when you hear that train, ambulance, and police sirens. All right, we're going to go ahead and play it right now. Okay. This is where your historical data comes in play. Check it out. Play it right there. For 28 days, your historical data on where you're going to accept offers, where you are going for opportunities to make money. I want to go ahead real quick and show this here. Go to your earnings tab. Okay. All right, suppose I want to look for next week. All right, we go to next week. We're going to next week right now. I'm in these streets. All right, we're going to hit Monday. So if I said, no, I don't want to do that week. I want to go where I had a good week on Monday. All right, I had a pretty good week on Monday. We're going to check that out. We did $87. Okay, we had another week where I had 150, but we're going to do this one. It's good enough to check things out right quick. All right, let me stop it right there. I want to do a reaction on that. Now, drivers, when you're doing your own research, case studies, and all of this, don't use your best performance. Because you know your best performance has peaks and valleys to it. Think of it as a sports athlete, you running track, where you reach your peak. There's a certain time in the season when you'll reach your peak. You don't be at your peak condition at all times. Same thing here. When you're looking at your historical data and all that, ladies and gentlemen, don't always use your best performance. Use your better performance, which means a little lower than your best. Then you look at your lowest, then next to your lowest. You look at those two. You go in your historical data, you go in your earnings tab, you look at all the orders that you accept and you decline. Historical data is a thing, even historical data, how the algorithm works good. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. I got to look at you over here as well. Reason why I can see it partially, I want to definitely see what you're saying. Let me go over here. Go over here. We're on the live stream. Make sure I turn it down. Let me go over here. All right. Historical data is a thing, even historical data shows you how the algorithm works. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it right there. That's it. Major, get it. There it is right there. It will show you how the algorithm works. Doing the order selection that you ordered. I'm going to do a part 4 to this, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to get a little deeper dive in showing new and beginning drivers, some veterans, as a reminder, how to look at that in different weeks increment. You're going to see a pattern there. He just told you. He just told you right there. Matter of fact, show it on stage what he just said. All right, there it is right there. Should see it now. All right, it looked double on my screen, but there it is right there. Historical data is a thing, even historical data. It shows how the algorithm works. That's why I talk about it. There it is right there. That's the key right there. Mic drop. I shouldn't have said nothing else. There it is right. He just dropped the mic. There it is. That's the reason why you need to be looking at your historical data. Because it shows you how the algorithm works. Short and sweet. There it is right there. I congratulate him for putting that out there. You see, there your answer is, people. Now you know why you need to go in there and look at it. So you can understand how it works. So if you understand how it works and you understand the mistakes you've been making, number one, not looking at your historical data. Number two, you're going against a machine that know you better than you know yourself. In your decision making. Take time and consume that right there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoy so much of all the viewers that was in here today. I want to be able to make sure I didn't miss nobody in the live chat. Is it gonna pull up here? Yeah, I want to make sure I call everybody's name out. Charles D in the house, Famous Amos in the house, Major Deliveries in the house. Okay. And we want to talk about content, not content creators, but commenters that commented on that episode that enlightened me to do this one. Audubon was in there, Hulk Smash, Major was in there. Let me go back so I don't miss nobody's name. I don't want to miss anybody's name. It bothers me when I do. Okay. But I know I'm not perfect. All right, we're gonna go look at the comments real quick. I'm gonna give a shout out. Cash Real Talk was in here. Hulk Smash was in here. Audubon was in here. Okay, Major was on the other one that I'm gonna do. On would you, ladies and gentlemen, would you deliver this order? There's gonna be another video coming out right there. I'm gonna tap that right there. And Major commented on that one. That's a lot of information. There's a storyline behind this information as well. Okay, that's gonna blow minds like landmines. And it was Panda Express, one of them restaurants. I forgot the name on that list. Okay, and then that was the distance of the order itself, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so you're looking at 8.7 miles, $4.03, which was added on to one of my long distance orders to make the long distance order that going in the same direction seem profitable for me. If I can finish that order, you know, $17 plus that order right there, I make $21 for the hour. If I don't have any hiccups. Now I have some hiccups like longer wait time at one of these is going to turn into an hour and a half, but still a 1 hour. All right, we didn't get enough digesting, breaking down, analysis, explaining to you how you need to think about when you get caught up with these long distance orders, how to navigate your long distance orders where it may make a profit for you. Okay. Just let me know the time on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for me to go. That was the Grubhub bell. Let me know I got 1 hour before I get busy. I got to get into an area real quick so I can move around. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. I give a salute to the content creators that talked about this algorithm, deep red dispatch system, and all of that. But we first heard it from Kim Tech Randomness. All right, then I went searching, trying to find some answers. She was the one who gave me those answers. I will be putting end screens on these videos. Be sure to re-watch the replay and then look at the end screens. Then go to those videos and everything where it can empower you. Because knowledge is power. But knowledge without wisdom has no value. Knowledge is power, but knowledge without wisdom has no value. Because if you know how to make money, but if you don't know how to manage money, it's just like you never did make it in the first place. Peace. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in the next one.